So the first mistake that I made that I don't want you to make is to dishonor your own thoughts and opinions about birth. Before I had my first, I was just watching TV and I came upon this Dateline NBC episode that was talking about these women that had pain-free childbirth. And they were talking about hypnobirthing.
But he says a remarkable technique can make labor easy, even fun. How? Lisa Rudolph follows two couples up to the final fateful day of delivery. Can labor really be pain-free?
And I thought to myself, when I eventually get pregnant, hopefully, I would like to give birth like this. I'd like to find out more about this. So I had a moment before I was pregnant that I had a desire and a thought about what I wanted, what were my priorities about childbirth. And then once pregnancy came in, I didn't honor that idea. I second-guessed myself. It wasn't the mainstream, it wasn't the norm, the way everybody was doing it. And so I really discounted it and I didn't really explore it any further. This is a big mistake. So even if they're not mainstream or the way everyone else has done it, that is okay. Don't hide them away. So that's number one. So I've got three more mistakes that can impact your birth experience that I'm gonna go through. Mistakes that I made with my first. And then I have a fifth that is super embarrassing, absolutely hilarious. I don't want you to make this mistake either. That's number 5, and I'm gonna save that one till the end. Second rookie mistake that I made in my first pregnancy was listening to other people's opinions. And, you know, I know this still goes on. I still have doula clients who are struggling in their own head with what their coworkers said, what their friends say, and what they're thinking. And it is really hard when you are embarking on something new, like giving birth, and not trying to take in some of the advice and recommendations of people that you love and you care about and you value their opinions. But I do caution you against listening too closely to other people's opinions. And it really goes back to number 1, like spending time just to kind of have some self-reflection and think about your own goals for birth. And when you have taken time to think about your own goals, then I think it's a little bit easier to take what other people say with a bit of, you know, a grain of salt. Don't feel reliant upon their opinions and ideas. That was one of my rookie mistakes for sure. So mistake number 3 was not thinking about the childbirth class that I wanted to take, or even really looking into the class before I signed up. I just signed up for the hospital childbirth class, and turns out it wasn't really that good. It was actually a class kind of about their policies and procedures and what's going to happen to you. It was really focusing on, like, this is how our hospital works, and this is where you register, and this is how you come in, and this is how we monitor you. And of course there was information that was helpful, but I really left there feeling like I missed out on something. Like, you know that feeling like, was there a Zoom call I was supposed to go to and I missed it? That's how I felt with the hospital class. And kind of related, I have some books on my desk because I'm making another video. So not thinking about what childbirth class is right for me, and also just reading all the books that everyone reads and not like looking outside of just plain old what to expect when expecting. So this was kind of all the prep that I did, and I didn't really expand my prep for birth beyond that book. You know, this book wasn't around, but this one was. And there were other options out there. I just didn't really think about it. I just kind of signed up for what I thought was right without looking into it a little more thoroughly. Number 4, which I feel like is a really big one, I really regret. It has some implication to my physical health. And that was not thinking about who I wanted to be my care provider. So I had been going to an OBGYN for years. And of course, I only went for my annual exam. Didn't really have that much of a relationship with them beyond just a regular pap smear in and out of the office. And so I didn't even think about how did they do call, what were their practices like, what were their C-section rates, and what are my options in the area? What about the hospital that I'm choosing that they're at? Is that the hospital that I want to give birth at? I just took for granted that I was with an OBGYN and I already had care with them and that's who I was going to have care with. And it turns out I didn't do a great job picking my OBGYN care. One of the doctors who happened to be on call when I went into labor with my first had the highest episiotomy rate in the entire hospital. I didn't know that at the time and didn't ask those questions. And as a result, you can probably fill in the blank of how my birth went. Yeah, you guessed it. Here we are at number 5. I have my scrapbook because I've got a cringy photo that goes with this. Well, as I was packing my hospital bag, I thought that I would be wearing something home from the hospital that I could fit into right about my 4th month of pregnancy. I thought that after I had a baby, that my belly would just be a whole lot smaller. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know if I never talked to anyone about it. I just made that own thought up in my head, but I took the clothes that I came into the hospital when I was big and pregnant, and I sent those home with my mom. So all I had left was a short t-shirt that did not fit me and overalls that were pretty tight. And I felt just like super uncomfortable. So I was already feeling a little uneasy of how to breastfeed, how to be a mom, putting my daughter in a car seat for the first time. But I was also shoved into a outfit that was way too small for me because I made the really silly rookie mistake thinking that my belly was gonna just disappear after I had a baby and just shrink up. And if you don't know, that's not the case. I always tell my doula clients, bring your pregnant clothes to the hospital to wear home from the hospital. Big, big clothes. The last thing you want is trying to shove your postpartum body into an outfit that doesn't fit. Trust me here. Okay, here it is. I promised you that photo. Here is this outfit going home. That's my firstborn. As you can see, couldn't button up the side, of course. And I remember telling my husband, put your arm right there so you don't see my exposed skin. It was super uncomfortable. Learn from me, don't make these mistakes, and I have got an awesome video that I know you're gonna like to watch next. I'm gonna put it right here, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.